Got new gods and goddesses, kings and queens. Got new was God and you, the knobs, great family allies and enemies. Was had it's double rice. There I go again. Every time I go live, it get to jumping. But anyway, this affects me personally because I have family members. Actually, my grandfather was a crackhead and got two of my cousins killed because he owed crack dealers some money, which caused an altercation, and two of my cousins end up dying as a result. So this affects me personally. I lived in Los Angeles, and I grew up born in the '80s, and I seen this stuff. I remember walking down the street, seeing spoons, seeing needles, seeing baggies from crack to. We was able to growing up in elementary. I was able to spot the different types of baggies. I remember one day playing in the front yard. I watched a local gang member, and this is when my mother and them was talking us against the gangs, and they pretty much grew up. My grandmother house in Compton, a gang was started basically out of that house to let you know how deep my family get in this shit. Uh, my uncle started a gang, was one of the founders of a gang in Compton, and but both my uncles really was helped founded the Crips in Compton. Part of that. Um, So when I started thinking about this and talking about this affected me personally. I remember riding bikes and getting pulled over for drugs and getting searched. So that when going through this and watching this, it's like, damn, really? You feel me? So this and things like this really brings race into it. But I want to play some of this and I want to go through it. So I'm gonna play this one first. Daryl Gates. And I want to play this particular part. Daryl Gates. LA's hard as nails top cop. LA's hard as nails top cop. Notice what they said. Hard as nails top cop. Let's go. War, a shooting war, not in the Middle East right now. We have it on the streets of every major city in this country. And you know who's feeding and supporting the enemy? The casual drug user. The enemy. Who's feeding the enemy? The casual drug user. So now, if you're aiding and abetting the enemy makes you enemy, there's two enemies now. Gates creates an elite paramilitary unit he calls Community Resources Against Street Hoodlums, or CRAP. Now, that's the battering ram. And a lot of people down south didn't know about the battle ram. And as a matter of fact, let me let you know. I don't know if I did one of these videos before, but let's go to this. Oh, there we go. It's the wrong one right here. Listen to this song. So, you know, basically the music reflects life, right? Check this out. LA. It's coming. Detroit. It's coming. LA. It's coming. No, it's here. What's here? The Batarang. Hey, man. I remember hearing this song coming up. The Batarang. You better beware and don't turn your head as if you don't care because they say they got you. That's Toddy T, the Batarang. Now, in Compton, that was playing loud. So, you feel me? So when this happened, that song and this was a reality of ours growing up. So let's keep going. Boom. See what it did. Gates launches raids with military names like Operation Hammer. Operation Hammer. Now, operations and with names is things that they doing in a minute. Operation Paperclip. Operation Iraqi Oil Liberation. Now, I want you to look at this. Now, I remember seeing this, driving down the street, walking down the street, riding down the street, man lined up. And I actually became a part of this. These
Officers raid apartment buildings, punching in walls, even leaving old graffiti on the sides of buildings.
culture and 1,500 people in a weekend arrested. Just look at that. Let's just think about this for a minute. You got graffiti every with them coming with their rule of the people.
The Los Angeles Police Department up under Daryl Gates, they was kind of looked at as gang members themselves.
Under Daryl Gates, they was kind of looked at as gang members themselves.
I mean, it's like, man, they was untouchables.
The story of the militarization of American policing begins in many ways in Los Angeles. That is the first police department to start incorporating the methods of counterinsurgency from America's foreign wars directly into policing.
Now, that lets you know that it's a war. It was a war on drugs, counterinsurgency, war on the people.
The police were being told for now 20 years that they were fighting a war, that more and more of the public was the enemy, and thus war is the appropriate set of methodology. The country was given a choice, and what happened was it doubled down on the war on drugs.
All right. So double down on war on drugs, like I told you, caught up at gunpoint on bikes as preteens, not even making it into the teens yet, getting pulled over at gunpoint on bikes, playing up down the street. Now, I want you to look at this real quick.
So out of control that the Drug Enforcement Agency says it seized only 10% of an estimated 60 ton.
Now, this map is so vital to everything. The United States is a superpower, right? So if the United States is a superpower, the United States pretty much understand what's going on, and they have all this massive surveillance. Check this.
Tons of cocaine that flooded Los Angeles last year, most of it coming from Colombia via Mexico.
So they know it's coming from Colombia. What happened? Excuse me. Nothing happened. Nothing but Plan Colombia. And after Plan Colombia, the cocaine trade boost. Then after that, they came with an initiative called Plan Mexico.
Much of the coke winding up in South Central LA, home turf for two of the most powerful and dangerous drug gangs in the Western U.S.
Powerful and dangerous drug gangs.
The Crips and the Bloods, staking out their territory with cryptic graffiti, protecting it with guns.
How important is cocaine to the Crips?
So I'm going to go ahead and stop that right there. Let's go back right here.
Commonplace in LA's gang-controlled neighborhoods. In Los Angeles last year, 25% of all murders, over 200 of them, were gang-related. Many murders committed with high-powered semi-automatic weapons, purchased at cut-rate prices and with few questions.
Cut rate prices, few questions.
There's a market up there, you know what I'm saying? A market up there, man. Rips are going up there? The Ricketts go anywhere.
Los Angeles County Sheriff's Detective Roland Garcia briefed San Francisco police on drug gang tactics.
I tell them that if they don't deal with the problem in its infancy, that they will have, like...
Let's go. So this guy had did this thing on the Better Ram. They got it.
We have here
at a
is an
museum.
LAPD battery ram from the 1980s.
And so you could go watch that if you look up Battering Ram. So now we get to the opioid epidemic.
Level dealers may seem like independent operators. They're indirectly part of a global crime ring. China is the primary source of fentanyl in the United States, and most is shipped to Mexico and smuggled across the border by drug cartels.
So hold on. Now that's very important. Colombia was shipping it to Mexico. Now China's shipping to Mexico. The drugs that's coming into the same communities. The only difference with this one is now the fentanyl is affecting the white community. and let's see how they deal with this.
Pick Montgomery County because running through it are Interstate 70 and 75, what law enforcement calls the crossroads of America for drug trafficking. It's over 12 hours after we first showed up in this building for our first briefing. We just had another briefing and are about to go on our third bus.
Now look at these guys. I'm gonna keep it 100. I don't know why it does that. Okay, so here we go. Cop.
Has carried with them Narcan, a powerful opioid inhibitor sprayed up the nostril that has brought dozens of people.
Was black, they wouldn't be carrying.
To the Narcan, you get that deep breath. You see the results right away. But that didn't happen this time.
All three of them had one dose of Narcan originally. Still wasn't enough. You know, they needed more treatment.
Come on, bud. Come on. There you go. Wake up. Wake up.
Seminole County fire personnel arrived with more Narcan.
Look. All right, look. We go just that right there.
Turning blue, the color.
Look, no gloves. Look at the care.
Since November
See the care?
2016,
Hand behind the head.
CSO deputy has
Tap it on
carried
the
with him
chest.
Narcan, a powerful opioid inhibitor.
Now watch the black guy. Watch the black
Come on,
guy.
bud. Come on. There you go.
Come on, bud.
Wake up. Wake up.
Seminole County fire personnel arrived with more Narcan. Each person ended up needing multiple doses. Henry put on protective gloves and a gas mask.
There were two people standing by that could take care of
Hold on.
me if something
Let's
were
go.
to happen.
And finally, Henry discovers this small baggie. She later asked them,
Let's go. Here we go again. Some more sympathy.
That I needed him in my life. And no matter what the capacity was, I just needed him. I never got to know if he felt the same way about me. Toxicology report shows that James died of a compound that was 99% fentanyl. So he was told that he was being given heroin and he wasn't. So fentanyl got him. It was his first overdose and it was his last.
Fentanyl is a prevalent synthetic opioid 50 times stronger than heroin. They know it's coming from China, into Mexico. And it says in 2017, nearly 30,000 people in the United States died of fentanyl-related overdose. Philadelphia Customs seized a fentanyl shipment from China worth $1.7 million last July. So the thing is this. Where's the war on drugs? They're just showing you nothing but care.
It's changed so much. The drug dealers have changed since I was here, and the drugs have changed, and it's not the way it used to be, and people are dying so much, and it's morbid looking, you know, being on the outside looking.
Now, if you look at how much the music in the background, the care, they wasn't doing this for crack, homie. Check this. Look how much care police giving.
15. They might get here before you. What are we doing? Right there. Go ahead. Put it on.
They turn into paramedic.
There we go. Hold on.
If that was somebody black that called overdose, the person that would call probably would have got shot. Fucking around calling the police for help. Here goes another one.
And hit it with the light. And sure enough, he says, I said, reach his hands out, and I said, he said, I'm ready to get this over with. All right.
Watch this.
What happened, buddy?
What's happening, buddy?
Control, man. Roads are slick. Roads are slick. Okay. Y'all was watching over, man.
He's in cuffs and talking nice to him. Homie, they would have had us sitting on a hood on the car and everything, not just sitting there having casual conversation. So this war on drugs thing was just a war on us and a war on us as a people. This whole meth and heroin and fentanyl thing is really taking off. It's in the black community. It's kind of like karma, really. And the cool thing about it is that You know, it's gonna birth a different kind of child coming out of white society. You gonna have more whites now understanding us. They go back and start researching. They go look at the crack epidemic. They go look at what happened. They go look at our flaws and with the mistakes, and they go understand the pain that we went through more. So you go have the police officers. They don't give a shit. This thing be skipping. I'm gonna check into him. I bet you we can find some racist stuff on this cat. Know some racist stuff on this cat. Know this guy's racist. I'm telling you, it's a major role. If the United States don't get a hold of it, police are pretty much across the board. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave it at that. Just look at the racial difference between what happened with crack and what's happening with fentanyl, heroin, and meth. You feel me? Now just one crack. And yeah, man, and even with weed, the way they was doing weed in our communities, how many people been locked up for marijuana? How many people been locked up? I can tell you right now that if they talking about how major this epidemic is, I could pretty much tell you it was, if not more, people locked up for weed and crack in Los Angeles, probably than across the United States for heroin and meth. They actually came in and decimated our communities. Decimated our communities. So I'm just gonna go ahead and leave it at that. Yeah, I just wanted to put that out there. You know, do the research. Check this out. Don't let this stuff pass you. And I also got a book. I got a book that you guys might want to get. Let me show you this book real quick. It's called Dark. Hold on. It's called Dark Alliance. I was actually going to bring this book out first, but I didn't. All right, I can't find it. I got so many books on this shelf. Well, anyway, it's on that shelf somewhere, but it's by Gary Webb. It's called Dark Alliance. Dark Alliance by Gary Webb, and it's just, I mean, he chronicled, he went through it, and he did the homework. I could read through the book and start bringing out some of the stuff, some of the people, and I'm still looking for it. Some of the stuff, some of the people, and things of that nature. I got so much on my plate right now, but one day I am going to do that, and we'll go through this book and go start bringing out the names and stuff. And pretty much the United States is waging a war against the Africans within America. There is a war on us. Notice how even with reparations, they don't want to even try to repair and create and bring up this portion of society. And there's a large portion of white society that's do not want to, like, it's not our problem that your portion of society is messed up, even though that no matter how much proof you bring out that government, it was complicit and also had hands in destroying our society. You know, government. So this is a government issue, federal, not just federal. It was citizens that attacked society. I mean, watch this. Right here. Well, anyway. There's cops that in Los Angeles doing a Peachtree was caught actually doing drive-bys. You feel me? So it's just a whole different thing when it comes to us and the police officers, drugs and us. It's major crimes, drugs and whites. They just treating it different. But at the end of the day, it's all go level out. It's go playing out. And the white community is getting decimated right now. The numbers is crazy. That fentanyl is crazy. This black's been caught up in a dragnet as well. But y'all stay safe. God bless y'all. Hustle. Live good. All right.